Well, hi there, Brian. This is Dylan. It's been a minute since you heard my voice, I bet. And, I'm gonna do a reading for you. Because you kinda sorta asked for one. And I know Kelly's gonna watch this. And I know that she's smiling right now. Because she's like, I'm so glad Dylan saw that, and I'm so glad he's doing that, because you totally want this, Brian Mauro. And I love you too, Kelly. I love you, Brian. So you're getting a reading. So let's see what these cards have in store. So quick preface. The tarot runs on the idea that it represents different parts of a life and the different parts of what a person does within their lifetime. So there's not really a lot of magic going on, it's just more of a emotional and feeling sort of thing. However, because lives tend to be kind of similar, and there's only so many paths that one can take, the cards can feel eerily right. And I think of it as it's a way for your brain to look at a couple of different things and say what it wants and what it needs to do to get there, but through the cards. So I'm going to give this a few more shuffles, and then I'm going to cut it into 3. That's the standard. I like to do at least 7 shuffles. Taking a little extra time with your shuffling because I know you're a person, you're going to want to see the whole process. So here we go. Which do I feel like you would pick? I feel like you would say you can't go with the middle one because that's the easy choice. So you're going to go with this one. I may be wrong, but... So, this first card represents you. It can also mean the nature of the situation, or the emotions going on. The Princess of Cups. I love it. This is a beautiful card. Here, let me get you some light. So, the Princess of Cups. Cups represent passion. So, the princess may represent a person. It may represent an emotional nature. So, Princess of Cups. It's a woman who is infinitely gracious, all sweetness, gentleness, kindness, romantic, and dreamy. So this could also be a woman in your life. These next 2 cards help describe your personality as well as the situation. We have Science. I can totally see that card for you. It's one of my favorites. So this means like a triumph of the intellect over something, you know, that pointedness. And the next card is the Lovers. Ah, I can totally see that. You're such a loving human being. Alright, so you got the dreaminess, the Lovers, which is a trump. Trumps mean kind of stronger force in something. And that pointed intellect. Alright, let's take a look at your 2 possible outcomes. The first one, Pleasure. Oh, that's a fun card to get. Cups represent those passions. All your cups are getting filled, plus some. And then we've got the Moon. Oh, it's another trump. It's a beautiful card. So I want to look this up because I want to make sure I tell you correctly. The Moon represents illusion, bewilderment, hysteria, madness, dreaminess, falsehood, voluntary change. This means like the brink of an important change. So we have a possibility of pleasure and a possibility of change. I wonder if they'll conflict or if they'll go together. This next card represents what will help you make the decision. Truce, the Four of Swords. Oops. There we go. So, truce, it's a little weird. Let me look it up. The Four of Swords. It means rest from sorrow, peace after a war, relaxation of anxiety, a refuge from mental chaos, or a recovery from sickness. It's the change for the better after struggle. Authority in the intellectual world, convention, establishment of a new dogma. So there's really some positive things going on here. You're getting a rest and building up yourself again. So we see that in science, we see that in truce, lots of swords so far. And then oppression. These are the forces outside of your control. That's interesting. The last reading that I did had oppression come up as one of the forces, and I've had a lot of readings where that card has come up there. I get the sense that, what's going on there, there is something that is fighting to stop you, and it's fiery in nature. Really all I can say is know that there's growth to be had from it. So the next cards are going to build upon the cards we already have. So this first one builds upon the first possible outcome. We have pleasure, and then we have victory. It's another wand, the Six of Wands actually. And it represents triumph, Alright, the next card is another trump, the Hanged Man. Famous card in the tarot. So we've got two trumps right next to each other, so this is a lot of strong force pushing this side. The Hanged Man represents redemption through sacrifice. Transformation, sacrifice, redemption. Enforced sacrifice, suffering. So we'll see what's happening there. The next card builds upon what are the things that will help you make the decision. We've got the Prince of Cups. And the Prince of Cups, he represents a young man whose characteristics are subtlety, a secret violence, a craft, an artist whose calm surface masks intense passion, caring intensely for power and wisdom, and ruthless in his own aims. So this is either a part of you or someone in your life that is helping you make the decision. Forces beyond your control, they also have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can often represent a man, like the self. Let's find out. The Hierophant represents divine wisdom, inspiration, stubborn strength, toil, endurance, persistence, teaching, help from superiors, patience, organization, peace, goodness of heart. Occult force voluntarily invoked. So there are forces being pushed through here, and there is a wisdom and inspiration coming through it. It's a good fit for someone getting a tarot reading, I feel. The next card is on that first possible outcome. We have the Knight of Disc. Now the discs represent material things. This doesn't always mean money. This can mean things that one can have. So the Knight of Disc, he represents a farmer, patient, laborious, and clever in material things, perhaps somewhat dull and preoccupied with material affairs. We've got cups, wands, and disc. We've got pleasure, victory, and the Knight of Disc. What I see here is there's a part of you that is very loving, is very, willing to be moved by things, and is very pointed, but that is considered somewhat dull or boring, and that's totally fine. It's a growth for you. Let's see what this other outcome is. We've got the Queen of Wands. Notice she's throned by fire. So the wands represent types of growth. Let's see what's going on with those. So the Queen of Wands, she represents a woman of adaptability, persistent energy, calm authority, with great power to attract, generous but impatient of opposition. You know, I feel like both of these actually go together. I feel like the Queen of Wands here is someone, and she has the fates on her side. Your transformation and your redemption have to do with this woman. And on your end, your hard work and your power to love and be pointed are what does it for you. That's what I'm seeing so far. Let's finish it out, though. So, the things that'll help you make your decision: abundance. Oh, there are good things coming. More than you need, actually. It may feel like too much. Abundance can go many ways. Let's look it up for clarity. So the Three of Cups. Spiritual basis of fertility, plenty, hospitality, pleasure, sensuality, passive success, love, kindness, bounty, the good things of life, while they are to be enjoyed, are transient and therefore cannot be relied on. So, there you go. And the final card is the Princess of Wands. These are the things outside of your control. Another beautiful card. So, the Princess of Wands, she is a young woman, brilliant and daring with great energy, sudden and violent in love or anger, enthusiastic. Yeah, there is obviously a woman in your life. Like, that is clear. And she's one of the forces that's going to help you through all this. I would say follow your intellect, follow your heart, follow that ability to be good with being boring, understanding what victory and pleasure are, and know that abundance is probably not what you want, but it's part of what will help you make the decision. So, there you go. End of reading.